Hello, I'm back. It's an absolutely gorgeous day today. It's probably about 90 degrees, but I am loving the humidity and the farming going around me. The farmers are getting back in the field. They're starting to till up the dirt to get ready to plant the crop for the season. While I do wish that there was more variety in the fields, not just corn and beans, I do wish that we were planting. So the Incas actually had this culture, it was called permaculture, and they would plant different varieties of foods next to each other that helped. It was like a cohesive thing where it helped. They each helped each other grow optimally. And they also had canals of water where, so you would plant like specific stuff closer to the water, other stuff like further away. You would plant some stuff by trees. So yeah, I wish we had more of a variety. I think our community would, instead of shipping out massive amounts of corn and beans to what I don't really know exactly what they use it for, but I think they ship it down to like Texas to feed cattle. This is huge farming operations. So instead of huge farming operations, I wish we would go back to smaller farming operations where we're planting more of a variety of foods to feed our actual community around us. My cat just walked in here this morning. He's very happy going in and out, outside. The birds were chasing him the other day, which I think is a good thing. He shouldn't be eating the birds because he has plenty of food. So he came running back into the house. His tail was huge. Anyways, so yeah, I wish we were planting more of a variety of things that was actually helpful for the soil. So and actually like fertilizing our soil with chicken eggs, compost. So I feel like doing smaller operations is healthier for the environment and healthier for us and our communities. And I do want to get back to a way of living where, one of my neighbors has goat milk or that I can purchase. I'm already purchasing farm fresh eggs from Crystal in the area. And it's such a great price. So thank you, Crystal. Okay, so there's so many herbs that I get excited about and that I want to talk about. But today I had to skip past and go all the way to the S's because I just feel like this herb would be super beneficial to so many people, and that is skullcap. Skullcap is a sedative herb, so it's going to help with anxiety, depression, insomnia, muscle spasms, muscle tension. It calms your nervous system. So a lot of people need that sort of help right now. It's also great for people who are trying to cut back on alcohol. You can start drinking a skullcap tea at night to help soothe your nerves instead of reaching for a glass of alcohol, which may have some damaging effects to your liver, if you overdo it. So I'm going to read a little bit about skullcap today. So it's also called, it has some other names. It's called blue skullcap, side flowering skullcap, Quaker bonnet, hoodwort, mad dog skullcap, helmet flower, or blue pimpernel. So it does have like a little very pretty bluish kind of flower coming out, really pretty. It's a calming herb. It's used for anxiety and nervous disorders of all kinds. It's part of the mint family. It likes moist areas throughout North America where it's native. It's cultivated in much of Europe. North American skullcaps can be interchangeably can be used for medicine. It is a little different than Chinese skullcap, but I think they both have similar medicinal uses. The medicinal use for skullcap. So it can be prepared as a hot tea or a tincture. I've typically taken it as both, actually. So sometimes I would do a tea and then I would put a little extra tincture, but I do really like the tincture as well. The tincture is really great for just putting a little in water, kind of taking it. It just depends what you like. If you want to relax at night, I would actually suggest having both the tea and the tincture. You can put like a little extra skullcap in there if you want. You can make a nighttime blend if you want with skullcap, and then put like a little extra tincture in there. So you can also use it as a powdered form as well, which I am seeing a shortage of skullcap at the moment. So I'll probably be ordering a powder. So if anyone wants me to make them some medicine or wants to purchase the powder from me, I will have that available. So for the powder, you can take in a capsule form, and I am looking up a way for how to, like, if you can take the powder in a tea as well. I think you can. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that powder would just dissolve in the water. I'm not sure about the taste of that, but I'll let you know when I try it. Let's see, skullcap acts upon the benzodiazepine, also known as GABA, GABA receptors in the brain. So if you go into the supplement section in the store, you'll often see supplements with GABA, really good for the brain, really good for sleeping at night. GABA is a neurotransmitter that helps prevent overstimulation of the nervous system. So also we are having some solar flares hitting the earth at this time, which it's pretty much like unprecedented levels. So that can also affect your nervous system. So when those solar flares come in the Earth's atmosphere, it's just creating like a lot of pressure into the atmosphere, and our bodies definitely, so think of it this way, our bodies are an extension, just like trees come out of the earth, and their veins or limbs are reaching out, sensing and feeling everything in their environment. So trees obviously are, and animals too, are really good at knowing when it's gonna rain, when there's a drought. So that's how they feel, and that's how they protect themselves and preserve themselves. So we're the same way. So our nervous system actually, so our brain, and then it comes out from there. So our hands, your nervous system comes out through here, down your body, down out through your feet. And we're also receptors. It's just that some people may be more in tune with that than others. It's really easy to, especially if you had a trauma in your life, to shut off those receptors. So you're a little more dull to things around you, maybe because you don't want to feel. But there are some people who are very hypersensitive, and but that's also due to trauma. So you can go either way with trauma. But that can cause you to be very sensitive to your environment and feeling people and things, so that you can, just like a tree, preserve yourself. You can say, oh, they're in a mood so I'm gonna maybe go do my own thing. But that is also a hyper awareness, a hyper sensitivity. So you're actually empathing, you're feeling people, you're feeling things outside of yourself. And if you're always on high alert, that can definitely cause like a overstimulation of your nervous system. So you don't want to be in fight or flight all the time. It actually can kind of damage your nervous system. It just kind of burns it out. So if you've ever felt a burnout before, that can happen with the nervous system. You just are like, wow, I can't deal with you. You then can't deal with anything in your environment because you've already been so hyper aware like this to your environment and everything around you. And the minute that one more thing happens in your life, say someone outside of you says something, and it's like, wow, I can't even deal with that anymore because I'm already dealing with so much in my own body. So that's why I wanted to talk about Skullcap. So it's let's see, where was I at here? It helps prevent overstimulation of the nervous system. If it gets too low, so I think that's the nervous system it's talking about, or maybe the GABA receptors, but it says if it gets too low, you can have seizures, epilepsy, anxiety, depression, insomnia, and more. American Skullcap interacts with these GABA receptors, binding to the benzodiazepine site, and as does valerian, which I haven't talked about yet, California poppy, which I have talked about. So they both do the same thing. They bind to that receptor site and sort of signal the body, hey, relax. So I really like this herb. The leaves, stems, and flowers are used medicinally. Oh, great. My phone fell. Let's see. So a lot of people only use the leaves. The plant is also rich in vitamins, minerals, and tannins, which are really good for your body. So a lot of herbs, you're going to get multiple benefits with them. So you're also going to get a bunch of vitamins, minerals, a bunch of things that your body actually needs. So there you go. You don't have to take all your separate vitamins anymore. You're going to get all of those benefits with your herbs, drinking a simple tea. I have huge bags of herbs, so if you are interested in purchasing a little herb, or have any questions about how to make your tea, definitely just reach out and send me a message and ask. The plant is relaxing. It acts as a natural tranquilizer, and it also helps you sleep. So it's similar to valerian, although I believe they said valerian is good for people who have cold hands and feet, and nervous tension, and there was one more quality, but I can't remember. It was in a book I read. But yeah, if you have cold hands and feet, bad circulation, you might want to think about valerian as well. Okay, so moving on to anxiety, tension, depression, and insomnia. Skullcap relaxes the nervous system, reduces stress, and relieves anxiety. It reduces body tension and allows the body to relax and to sleep. It calms people who are overly nervous, hysterical, or unable to relax. So I read a book once, and if you've ever gotten into a car accident, you know how your body's in shock. So that would be a good time to just take a little bit of the Skullcap tincture, take a couple drops of that, get your body to relax and process that trauma through. We don't want to hold on to trauma. We don't want to hold on to stress. We want to feel the stress, feel the trauma fully in your body, so that your body can then filter it and process it. So if we don't really feel the trauma and we stay up in our head thinking, rolling around our thoughts, oh my gosh, this, that, you're not fully feeling the trauma, and your body will then store that stress chemical somewhere in your body so that you can process that at a later time when you're more ready. But if you start to store in your cells memory, that is not a good thing either. It's going to eventually cause some sort of disease, so that you are faced with that feeling eventually. So it's better to feel than to push away. Its antioxidant properties help with oxidative stress, which is associated with depression and anxiety disorders, and as I said, it binds to the GABA receptors in the brain. Why I like Skullcap as well is because it's an antioxidant. So I've been studying a lot about antioxidants lately. Antioxidants are amazing. So ashwagandha is an antioxidant. Mushrooms are antioxidants. There's a bunch of herbs that are also antioxidants, but antioxidants are amazing because so when we're feeling stress, our body is releasing cortisol into our system, saying we have a problem here. You need to either run or hide. Even though that may not be the case in all situations, when you're feeling stressed, your body is signaling that into your body and into the environment. So when that cortisol is released into your body, and you have that for a long time, it can create something called oxidative stress and damage. So your cells stop producing like good things for your body, and the gene actually turns off its expression, and that's when your genes turn off, and your body is signaling cortisol. If you have that for a long time, you're basically signaling to your body shut down, disease, so you're going to create all kinds of problems in your body. So antioxidants basically help your body adapt. So stress is not a bad thing. Stress can be a good thing if you actually use it in your advantage, to overcome a situation or to show yourself like, so I did this stressful thing. I actually became stronger from it. I actually grew from that situation. I am actually healthier now. I actually feel stronger now that I went through that situation. So antioxidants can help you just adapt to stress, and it helps your body repair from that damage. So let's see what else it says here. Okay, so it's also neuroprotective. It's one of those herbs that are, oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, there was a huge bug and it scared me. I thought it was a bee, but it's actually, I don't know. You know those stink bugs? It looks like that. I'm just gonna let it kind of be over there and continue with the video here. So Skullcap has neuroprotective properties to it, which means it helps your brain. So neuroprotective. So it basically protects the what are they called? I can see pictures in my mind really easily, but I don't always remember the words for it. But it protects the receptors and everything and the signals going on in your brain. So it's like you have little myalgia things in your brain, receptors, which are going to signal to your body what to do. So that sort of protective herb creates like a really nice coating around there, around that myalgia, so that you're going to get a really clear, good signal. When that starts to break down, you start to get more of a chaotic signal through your body. And you can have things like Alzheimer's, so you become more forgetful because your brain is not connecting to your body as well. And you can also have Parkinson's, which is shaking. So that's when your brain, basically that signal starts to wear down. I almost want to say the myalgia, but don't quote me on this, but it starts to wear down. And so it's, what can I relate this to? So I would relate it to riding maybe a bike or an automobile. So if you leave your bike out in the rain too many times, that metal is going to start to rust. But if you put a little oil on that rust, you're going to start to get a more smooth and functioning bike or automobile. So that's similar to if you have a herb like Skullcap, you're going to start to sort of like oil that machine to take care of it so it functions a little better. Skullcap also helps with muscle spasms, tension, seizures, twitches. It calms the nervous system. So when your nervous system's like high alert, high alert, high alert, you can start to get spasms, twitching, seizures. So that all has to do with the brain-body connection is not functioning optimally. So Skullcap is antispasmodic. It eases muscle twitches, spasms, seizures by relaxing the muscles. It relieves involuntary muscle movements, and it calms the nervous system. Sorry, I'm going to try to go a little quicker through this. I know the video is like already 22 minutes. It helps with tension, headaches, and migraines as well. So people that take Skullcap report that it helps relieve tension headaches, it helps with migraines, it helps with tremors, it helps relax the mind, it relieves anxiety and depression. And again, back to depression, it helps also treating exhaustion. With good sleep and a calm mind, the body is able to put itself back in order and heal mentally and physically. So if you're trying to heal from anything, you definitely want to get some good sleep. So the body just repairs at night. It goes into repairing mode. So I would recommend, if you're healing from anything at all, Skullcap is it's going to speed up that healing process for you. So it's a really good herb that I would recommend taking. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, and I cannot wait to get back to this herbal medicine series and on to the next herb. I'm not sure what I'm going to pick next, but we are getting into spring and kind of feels like summer here. I like it. So I'm going to start making I'm gonna look into like growing my own herbs. I'm getting my hands back into my herbs. I'm making some oils, so if you're interested in an herbal oil, I may be looking to set up at some farmers markets too, so I'll have to let you know if I find something, or let me know if you know of something where I can set up with some products. So have a blessed, blessed, blessed day. Stay grateful, stay open, stay optimistic.